So let's do it, everybody. We have Blackie. I can explain who Blackie is, but maybe you should do that.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Blackie is a Minecrafter. Surprise, surprise, because that is what the Count interviews in his show, obviously. And as everyone can clearly see now, I'm probably the old geezer Minecrafter. My beard is no longer as colorful as the Count's beard. It's sort of grayed out.
Colorful is one way to call it, yes.
Well, it's a nice saturated brown color.
Yeah. I mean, I think men we have the benefit of being even when we get older and get the gray hair and stuff, still sexy. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's clearly migrated from there to there,
Oh,
and to other places.
Welcome to The Count Show, where we talk about life, YouTube content creation, and of course, Minecraft. Your host, yes, you guessed it, The Count. Each week, we'll chat with creators, share tips, and dive into the world of gaming, building, and the journey behind the screen. Whether you're looking for advice, inspiration, or just a fun conversation, this podcast has something for you. So grab your pickaxe, because Count Show starts now.
oh, all right. There is something else. There is someone that everybody knows. Everybody probably watching this this podcast. That's actually related to you.
Yeah, very much so. Dippy Blether is my real life wife and also my partner in crime on Igniter. Yeah, so we're a Minecrafting couple. In fact, the whole family is Minecrafting.
That's
The younger one
awesome.
not so much anymore, but the older boy still plays Minecraft on a regular basis.
That is absolutely awesome. I struggle even to like make my girlfriend play with me. You know, none of my friends really, none.
Well, it's interesting because it was actually the boys who got us into it. I mean, obviously they started when they were really young, and Minecraft was in his baby shoes. But then they came back to it at uni time, and this is actually quite a nice story because they sort of around 2019, I think they started pestering us and saying, "Oh, we should play Minecraft and we would enjoy the game." And well, Dippy started first. I started a little bit later. And then, of course, 2020 hit and lockdown hit.
Yeah.
And well, the boys were no longer at home. And it was a really, really nice way of actually meeting on a regular basis and doing something together. So we played Minecraft together as a family. And then the older one graduated in the middle of lockdown. So there was no graduation ceremony. And yeah, it was all pretty bleak. I mean, the whole thesis he had to write from home. And we thought, well, he needs a graduation ceremony. So we went on the server we were playing on at the time and chose an area to build a graduation hall and build a nightclub and build a restaurant and a railway to take him to places and everything else. And Dippy made a graduation certificate as sort of map art. And then one day he was told that he had to log into Minecraft and he would be taken somewhere. And yeah, the whole family was there and some of his friends were there. And he had no idea that this was going on.
Who knew? Just you, two of you?
His girlfriend knew. A couple of his friends knew because they helped with the building. Okay. And Dippy and I obviously knew.
Oh, he's blessed with a great family and friends, I think. Nobody said something? You know?
Nobody said something. No, he was completely and utterly clueless.
Nice. You know, it's really seldom. I can't complain from anything. I have an awesome family, always had. I have friends since since ever, right? That they were always great and real true friends and stuff like that. And nobody can really relate to that. And when I hear something like this, it's good. It's good, you know. The mother and the father got the friends, and they did all this. It's awesome. I think it's great. I find it really great. It gives hope.
Yeah, it was a good day, and we will remember that for a long time.
Well, he will too, for sure.
Yeah, and it all sort of spiraled from that. I mean, at that time we were playing on a Realms server, and
like Bedrock stuff.
No, Realms, it was Java.
Oh, okay.
And it quickly became obvious that actually it wasn't going to be enough for our purposes.
Okay.
And then we went to a hosting service, and eventually, Ben is an IT guy. I have a misspent youth in IT. And we decided we would go and rent a bare metal server. And then it's a completely naked server. There's nothing on it. You have to put the operating system on it. You have to put the Minecraft server on it yourself and everything. There's no console like in most
having the machine. Anything else is your part.
It's just a machine with lots of power and good connectivity.
Yeah.
So we share the hosting of various servers on there. I do a lot of the Linux system administration and stuff like that. I've just rewritten our script that starts and stops the servers and does the backups.
Crazy.
It's good. It's good fun. So it's not just Minecraft. It's everything that goes with it.
You close the circle, basically. You know?
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yeah. I went to university. I studied IT. That was 15 years ago. And 15 years ago, actually. And I can make it a calculator, something that calculates stuff for you. I mean, I can tweak with Minecraft mods. That gives me still the understanding of what I'm seeing and reading. But if I have to write something, plus so much stuff changed those years. Like the languages are not the same like back then, right? And I never practiced it. I never worked it. Actually, I wanted to study it just because I wanted to know it. I never wanted to work that. I mean, that's how I function the whole life. Yeah.
When I was at uni, I earned some money to sustain myself, and that was a job in the university computer center. And it sort of went on from there. And then when our older one was about, I would say 9 years old, 8-9 years old, he wanted to learn to code. And then for a couple of years I taught him little bits, and then after that he was entirely self-taught, and he's much better than I am now.
I mean, he started at 9.
Yeah, he started very early. He wrote his first game for a mobile phone when he was 10 or 11.
Wow. Okay. That was Ben, probably?
And it was playable, yeah.
Was that Ben?
That was Ben, yes.
I'm pretty sure. I had some connections with Ben and talks over the last couple of years about a couple of mods and stuff that he was doing. He knows what he's doing.
He is bloody good, yes.
Yeah.
So when I do some coding for the stuff on the server, I always send my code to him for review, and then he comes back with his critique of it.
He's like the main IT guy.
It's really constructive, and I've learned a hell of a lot. So,
you see, that's his job now. Still doing
that's his job. Yeah. He is self-employed. He contracts out, and he is very, very fast in writing things.
Yeah. So you have,
but also technically very, very clean code.
Yeah, that's important, So even if there is a mistake or something, it's much easier to find the problem when it's clean written. Yeah. So you have the group that builds the stuff and the one person that can use it for free.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you know what? We sort of do events occasionally,
I know.
and that was really, really fun running that and doing the technical bit in the background and making sure that things actually work.
I know. I've been part of 2 for sure events that you organized. 3 actually, 3.
You were on the beacon hunt.
Yeah.
You also were on the Vicar Creek.
Yeah, but I think there was one between after the beacon hunt. There was
and then there
something.
was the charity thing that we did.
Did you run that too?
Yes.
Really? I thought that was the that group. I'm still part of their Discord. I don't know, but so you run the server back then.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good. That was great. I'm actually still proud of what I built there. I don't think I'll ever be able to build something like that again. Because there were other blocks and stuff like that.
You just need the reason to build it.
That's true. That's true. That's missing very often. I mean, I see some. Oh, I want to build that, but then when I start, why? What am I gonna do with that? I mean, I don't really need that right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And currently we're running the Waterworld series. And Grumpy's
true.
playing on that.
True. I haven't been there.
Yeah, and that's good fun, and it's limited. We're going to finish that in probably about 2 weeks, another 2 weeks, another 3 weeks maybe. But we have plans for reviving the beacon hunt.
Well, that was fun. This will be great. The beacon hunt was actually
we
very
have
interesting.
some ideas of what we need to change. So, but yeah, it'll be minimum half a year before we get there.
Oh, okay. Okay, that kind of project like that, it takes time. I think Nitri Swarm, right? The first one.
Possibly. I can't quite remember.
It took 2 hours for me, and she was done like in 30 or 40 minutes, and I was like, that's how?
Yeah.
On earth?
Well, there was an advantage for people who run early. Because the more people went, the more mobs there were.
Oh, true.
And the easier it was to die. So that was one thing we hadn't calculated in. So I think that's going to be controlled the next time round.
Okay. See, there is so much still that one has to think about. That's
and there's Ben wrote a complete mod that was underpinning the whole server. So the whole scoring system stuff that was done by a mod.
That's magic for me,
and the
man.
messages and the particles that were guiding you to the beacons, all of that was in the mod.
That's magic for me. I've done so much on like administration side and servers and stuff like that, but I have no idea where even to start if I have to put something myself together, right? I can use mods, I can tweak them a bit. I can go to the codes from the mods and change stuff, right? But I will never be able to build that. Crazy.
You just have to invest a bit of time in it, and you probably would.
Yeah, okay, but no, not anymore. Not anymore. I burned myself out a couple of times in the last years. I'm not going crazy with stuff like that. Also now, you know what's good? Being the count. I know all of you. I know so many people now. So if I need help,
it's absolutely incredible. I mean, when you start out your Minecraft journey, you know maybe 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
And then it just mushrooms
a lot.
And then some people you are really in regular touch with, and you become good friends with.
Very good friends.
Yeah, we went to see the Hatter in Japan.
Yeah,
because
I know.
we were in a holiday to Japan, so we met up with him.
I have a couple of pictures.
Really, really good fun. Yeah.
I have a couple of Maybe I'll show them.
Exactly what he is on screen.
Right? It's the same person, isn't it? I was sure.
He's absolutely the same person. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, okay, but I don't think I'm the same. Like the childish humor and play, that actually happens in real life now after I started the Minecraft thing. To be honest, I kind of opened it more, but I'm not like right the whole time. So
That's the therapeutic value of Minecraft, isn't it?
yeah, it changed so much. It changed, like, really. I know that sounds too poetical, but that journey, as he called it changed my life in a positive direction. I don't take stuff that seriously anymore. I can laugh about everything, right? Everything.
Yeah.
As Minecraft is interesting. I mean, it's not just the game; it's the people that you meet there, right? I was just lucky, I guess. Very lucky.
Yeah. And yeah, occasionally you get disappointed with people, but that is just life, isn't it?
It is, but even that disappointment, I have no bad feelings to anybody. There is just one person for all those years that actually doesn't want to talk to me. I nothing against them, right? There was a contact for a while. What's up, brother?
Yeah.
I have no problem. At the end of the day, it's just a game, right? We don't share
Absolutely, yes.
our meal or bed or whatever, right? It's just a game. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. There's many more servers.
Absolutely. And if you find a nice group of people to play with, I mean, that's absolutely wonderful. It's magical.
It is magical. As I said, I was very lucky. I think the biggest point on my journey was joining the Raiders of the Craft that Caffeinated O organized back then, where I met a bunch of the people that I am still playing with, and I consider my friends, like Tipi. Also, we met there, or Ori. Hatter also
Yeah.
came from there. A lot of people. That was... Yeah, I think I need to thank Caffeinated O for that. Guess that changed it. That changed everything. Everything. Yeah, I was good. So you said that you're a really bad streamer when we were chatting. What do you think makes a good one?
I think a good one is a sort of natural interactive storyteller, and the interactive is probably quite important in there. I think if you have a good streamer, they are good at keeping an eye on the chat and interacting with the viewers and engaging them, and I find that really quite difficult. I get really absorbed in the game, in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And before I know it, half an hour has elapsed and I haven't had a single look at the chat.
Yeah, but
there are loads of messages.
That's just in the beginning, I think, because it was the same. You know, I started streaming at the very beginning. It was disastrous, right? Because I wasn't talking when there was nobody in the chat. I wasn't talking. So when people join, and after talking, they go out. Respectively, I mean, then I tried, but I wasn't looking at the chat, because somebody somewhere said in a video or whatever, like giving advices, if you feel like bad, if that nobody's in the chat and that is stopping you, just turn it off. Look after that. How many people joined? Yeah, but how am I supposed to answer the chat there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a bad advice.
So, oops, that's kind of difficult, but yeah, I don't mind talking that much. I can talk while I play, and even if I'm not streaming, sometimes I talk to myself.
Yeah. Same.
And so that's not really a problem, but I still need to practice, and I need to do it more and more regularly.
Well, having two monitors actually helps.
I've got two monitors.
Yeah, that helps. I keep the chat closest to the main monitor where I play, but sometimes I forget when I'm not playing alone. It's difficult to keep it. Also, you need a hotkey that you can press quick to mute your mic so you can talk to the chat. Otherwise, it's absolute chaos on the server if everybody's interacting with their viewers, right? And stuff like that. But it's a thing. It comes with practice. I don't think you're a best streamer. You just don't stream enough.
That is very true. I don't stream enough.
No.
I have too many other things going on in my life that I...
Streaming is not that time consuming, actually. That's why I started mostly streaming. Because with the recording, you have the editing process and finding the right effects or music or whatever it is, right? It takes time. It takes time to organize your video, to record it as you want it, and this and that. Streaming, find 2 hours, hop in, do whatever you do, go out, and that's it. I find it cool. And you have so much to offer and to show. You know, it doesn't have to be always like let's play. You understand Redstone, you understand a lot of stuff.
That's true. I like my Redstone, and maybe I should do a few more things with that and sort of fun things with that. But it'll all come.
Yeah. Streaming tutorials should be something that it should be a good thing, right?
That would be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Maybe doing something like very simple building blocks for Redstone.
Yeah,
because a lot of people don't understand the very simple things that you need.
Yeah, I don't.
And that might be a fun thing to do.
You can
I would have to think of a sort of series of stuff to do. Yeah,
stream it.
Do that.
You can go like 2-hour stream explaining basics. Episode 2 2-hour stream explaining a bit more. I don't know. This could be fun, and then put it in practice. I'll be watching. I'm actually streaming Wednesday. I'll be streaming what I know about Blockbench. I'm far away from Profi there, but I somehow managed to do stuff, right? Like models and stuff like that. And now on the new server that we will launch on 12, I think.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of people want stuff, but I don't know how to do that. Maybe that will help. The simplest way
that would be
to put something together. Yeah. So I'm actually doing that stream for them, but it will be out there. And the tutorials are great. I spend maybe 10% of my computer or phone watching tutorials about different stuff. I like to learn. I was always like that. I mean, I will probably never put it on practice, but I want to know. So tutorials are something great. And you, as I said, you have a lot to offer. Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah. Oh, you were asking about my gamer name.
True.
Before.
Yeah. Well,
yes. So
you also told me a couple of funny stories, but explain what's with the name.
Okay, so we'll start with the fun stories, I think. So people have accused me of being a racist because I've got black in the name, and I'm obviously not black.
But that's a shadow. It's a black. I mean,
yeah, black shadow, and then actually the full name is HRD behind it.
Yeah.
Because the Black Shadow Pure wasn't available on Minecraft when I registered my name. But the background to that is I used to really like motorbikes.
Really?
And
like the racing, the fast ones?
That's what I started out with. I mean, being a young man, I went through that crazy phase where I had the 250cc two-stroke racers that were road legal. And I eventually graduated to something more sensible.
Okay.
But if I could have any classic motorbike in the world, the one that I would go for is the Vincent Black Shadow.
Oh, it's actually
that is where the name comes from.
Bike.
It comes from a motorbike.
I need to. I will definitely Google that, and I'll show it on the edited version.
Yeah, it is an absolutely beautiful bike. But to buy one is sinfully expensive.
How much one costs today?
You can buy a small house for the price of a really good one.
Oh, Okay.
Yeah.
Where? Because I'm coming from Bulgaria, and you can buy probably a big house there with the money.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking for a really mint condition, fully polished Black Shadow, about €250,000.
Okay, that's $500,000 in Bulgarian money. You know, that's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. So I will never get one.
No, never say never. Who knows?
And,
Maybe DP will
and
just explode in the next year as a YouTuber and buy
make
a
a
bike.
first billion. In that case, I can go and buy myself a Black Shadow. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're helping. I mean, there should be something in it. You're doing the whole background, the shadow behind it. I just kicked something.
Yeah.
So it
that's,
came from a bike. Interesting.
It came from a bike, and because of the HRD, the boys came up with that could be a porn star name.
HID?
HRD. So if you put an A in between,
Oh, yeah,
H
it could be.
the
Yeah,
R.
it could be. I don't know. Not if it's if all the letters are written big, no. But yeah,
Well,
yeah. It's like
no,
my
not
name.
really, but it amused the boys. It was their sense of humor.
I don't know if you saw one of Grumpy's thumbnails. He changed it like minutes after because he didn't notice that my cowboy hat was hiding the O in my name. Like he left the name tag on the thumbnail. I posted this, but the cowboy hat was just in front of the O, and somebody pointed that out, and he changed it very, very quick. So yeah, names.
Yeah. One has to be
Yeah.
careful. Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, stories. You want to tell stories about that?
Oh, stories. Well, I mean, stories about Grumpy?
No, who said that you're a racist because you have black? I mean, even if I put black on my, it's like I'm accepting it for me, so I'm not against it. How's that racist? I don't.
Yeah,
get
I don't know. I don't really understand some of the sort of hypersensitivities around words that we sometimes get these days. It's weird. And then you get the whole thing of cultural appropriation. And all of a sudden you get somebody claiming that dreadlocks are their cultural property. And you think, well, actually, if you go back in history, they were around some 4,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were none of your group around. So why is that?
I don't know. The word is interesting place lately.
Yeah.
Crazy. About that bike, are they producing it still, or it's like
Oh no! It's a classic bike.
Okay, like an old timer.
So it's an old timer, yes.
So as you and me,
and not that many of them were made. So
it's actually limited edition.
Pretty rare. It is.
That's why that's so expensive. Even the have you ever heard of the car Trabant?
Yes, of course I have.
Even they are going so expensive lately. The ones that actually move and are fit, crazy expensive, like really crazy expensive. Yeah, stuff like that. Said old timer
they were pretty horrendous in their time.
It's two-tact car, right? So it's but they're like the Russian cars from back then. They don't break. If you have a small rope or something, you can fix everything and then continue driving.
A roll of duct tape, a screwdriver, and a hammer, and you can repair them.
Yeah,
it's funny. The ladder, if you want to see a load of ladders, you have to go to Egypt, to Alexandria.
Okay.
The predominant taxi is an old ladder.
How did they get there? That wasn't part of the communistic.
No. But at some stage, when there was the big conflict with Israel, Russia was siding very much with Egypt, and trade-wise, they were a really cheap trading partner, and that's how all the ladders came into Egypt.
See
And of
that.
course, they're cars that are very, very easily repaired.
Yeah.
And they were produced in billions, well, millions. And
Very
and
slow,
therefore
but a lot.
parts are
Yes.
still available. And I mean, you look at them, they're absolutely dreadful looking cars because bits hanging off, lights not working.
Oh,
The
okay.
horn will always work, but other things might not.
Okay. We had
But they keep going and going.
Zhiguli. That's it. It looks almost the same as Lada, right?
Mm.
It's also a Kumisico car. But the lights at the front are round. They're not. They're just round.
Yeah.
And the back where the stop lights are, they're a bit smaller. So otherwise, the same car. And I was very small kid back then, of course. And
The
you
Lada
had
was based on a Fiat.
which one? The
Lada
Lada
was based on the Fiat.
could be, yeah.
Yeah, no, they got they built that in license initially, and then they took they just continued building it, and Fiat moved on to very different models.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't know that. But it makes sense back then because how many countries were producing cars back then, right? Part of the Communistical Party. Yeah, that makes sense. You had to wait 2 years sometimes to get your car. Like you order it, pay it, and you wait years until it's done. Because everybody wanted a car, right?
Of course.
Yeah. And the other one was Moskvich. Also, it's like made of paper.
Yes, I remember that one.
Like that, but it's like a light version of tank. That thing goes through everything. It never breaks. It's crazy. It was like more of the limo type, because it's big. I have a big trunk and it's long. Looks awful, but they're still moving. If you go in Bulgaria, in Sofia, you can see a lot of them still. Like they look good now. Those are collectors that drive them. And we still don't have those lows like here in Germany with the eco stuff. You can drive everywhere with everything. So you can go with a tractor on the street, and it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Nobody examines the exhaust gases too much.
If there is a mountain just next to Sofia, all right? So if you go at the top, you can't see the city because of odor. Right, because it's over 2 million people. Sofia is not small; it's kind of the size of Munich, same size city, but a lot of cars and no laws, so you can't really see the city. Sometimes it's really bad. I live in the best area in the world, in my opinion. I don't know if you know where I am. It's
no, I have no idea where you're based at the moment.
Weinstraße, right, the wine road, and
very nice.
there are the beautiful mountains and the graveyards, right, and stuff like that. It's awesome, clean air. People in Rheinland-Pfalz, there are special type of people, but they're very open. Right, you can talk to everybody. It's a nice area. Maybe I'm just lucky, and people are like that just here. But it's a great place to be, I think.
Good.
Yeah.
And you will get very, very nice wine.
Yeah, I do like wine, but sometimes I have a lot of wine because you get wine for everything around here, right? Like. Wine it's everywhere, but my girlfriend is not much of a drinker anyways. She drinks sometimes, just occasionally, and I'm a fan of my beer.
That being the imaginary girlfriend, as Grumpy calls her.
Yes, yeah, okay. She's imaginary, fine, I don't care. But we understand each other. Imaginary or not, I need to talk to somebody. So, talking about old timers and stuff like that and games. You mentioned a game that I can't even pronounce. I'm not really sure what that is. I've never seen it. Sinclair something.
Oh, that was my first computer.
How was gaming
Oh.
back then?
Right. Well, I was, let me think, I was about 16 when the Sinclair ZX81 came out.
How do you remember
And-
the letters and the numbers behind it? I haven't seen it.
I think
ZX.
81 is the year it came out. What the letters mean,
Wow.
who knows?
Before me.
So when it came out, there were two versions available of it. One was the fully assembled one, which was quite expensive, at least for a teenager. And then there was one that you had to solder together yourself.
Oh.
So I got the latter one because one of my friends was extremely good with a soldering iron. He became a telephone engineer.
Okay.
And then we built this computer. And it had the grand total of 1 kilobyte of memory.
I remember that.
That was all you had.
Mm.
And I then bought a memory extension for it of 16 kilobytes. I mean,
Ooh,
that was
the real deal.
unbelievable. Yes. And you had a little cassette player that worked essentially as a magnetic tape where programs were stored, and then you could read them in and play, and you could code on it. And in those days, the sort of most common game was essentially a kind of tennis or ping pong game, where you had paddles that you could move on the screen, and then you could either play against somebody else or you could play against the computer.
Yeah.
And there was a white ball that would, that would go fly across the screen, and then depending on how you hit it on the up or down, the angle would change, and so on. And it was pretty awful. It was slow, there was lag, and then I thought, well, actually, I can do better. So I decided that I was going to rewrite this game. And then I realized that if you do that in BASIC, which was the sort of standard programming language in those days, it would just be as slow.
Okay.
There was nothing I could do. So I actually learned assembly language for the ZX81 and wrote this thing in assembler. And it was great. It was fast, but it was completely unplayable because it was too fast.
No.
So you would hit the ball, it bounced off the back off the wall, and there was no way that you could ever move your paddle quickly enough to catch it.
Oh,
What I never managed to sort out was to actually slow it down.
So you managed to make it quicker, but you never managed to make it slower after that. How?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it was brutally fast, but it was just too fast.
There was a story with this game, including Wozniak, right? The Apple guy from back then that started with Steve Jobs. That was something I need to read it again. I think that he did something connected to that game back then, right? With the thing that moves, and they were like, you had to break some stuff. I don't know how the game goes.
There was Space Invaders as well. That came a little bit later. That was so popular.
That was a board moving, like a moving board with a bow again. But you don't play with another person, but break some blocks for points or something like that.
Yes,
that was something like that.
Yeah. That later became Frozen Bubble on Linux.
Could be.
Yeah. Not a bad game at all.
No, even we all played them, and I actually enjoyed playing games like that before, right?
Yeah.
People still do that on phones. I can see my girlfriend sometimes doing stuff like that, which doesn't make any sense. It's like of addictive, I guess. Like the satisfaction of getting the blocks
there's
away.
a sort of time limit on it, and you need to get them. You need to get the bubbles shot down because otherwise you get crushed. And
true.
Yeah, there's a sort of competitive element in it, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then we had games even on the mainframe when I was at the computer center, and these were entirely text-based. So there was one called Cave, and it was a bit of a Dungeons and Dragons adventure.
Okay.
And you had to type in what your player had to do. So
exactly as the game is,
and move west and examine rock, pick up rock, and you would get responses. And of course, if you mistyped, it was just say unknown command, and you had to type the exact phrase, so it was very limited.
Yeah, I think I talked with Grumpy about that. He said he was playing the same kind of game, right? You need the exact sentence, otherwise it doesn't work. And I remembered the game books, like a book that you read, and then you decide if your decision is this, then go to page 38. If it's this, then go to 69, right? Stuff like that. I was doing that a lot.
Yeah.
And
I
they
know
still
you get
do
a
it.
lot of these for children as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can read them with your children. Yeah, and I think these games have recently had a sort of little revival. So they're actually new games of that type out.
Yeah, but not with typing. Probably you click a button, right?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
But
which takes the fun out. I mean,
it was it was interesting. Things have changed quite a bit.
A lot. You know, the first game that I played. So 6. That means that was 1994, right? And we had the computer was Pravets. That was a computer built in Bulgaria. They started manufacturing stuff like that in the communismus back then, but the company continued after that. So we get that one. It was like there was like the first, not the first, like the Apple computers. Everything's together. Like the monitor is attached to the whole machine. Everything's together. Even the keyboard was attached to the everything, and there was no mouse. Back then, there was no mouse.
Yeah,
for a long time there was no mouse, and
that was Apple's achievement.
a bit stolen from Xerox, I think. But yeah,
it was developed at Palo Alto Research Laboratories, and then it was offered out, and Microsoft refused and said that was a useless kind of implement.
Okay.
And wasn't required for them.
All right.
And Apple eventually picked it up.
Yeah, I read the biography from Steve Jobs that he ordered, right? The guy I forgot his name, the real writer. And he actually told the story that it was a bit manipulative, but I understand in the business back then was like that. They actually wanted his help, Jobs' help. I think the company was Xerox, they had it. Or was that the mouse? I don't know. And he agreed because he saw something there, right? And if he agrees, he gets access to everywhere and everything. And then, yeah, the story knows it. But everybody can have something, but not everybody can make it like proper for everybody. Like the computer existed a long time before Jobs, but he gave it to us to do what we're doing right now, even, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the first game that I was playing, it was still DOS. We didn't have Windows still. Like everything was black screen.
Yes, I remember that very well.
Black screen with green pixels. Right? They were green, and the game was the same. Green pixels, and you could drive a car, and the sounds were actually I don't understand how that worked even now. They were coming from the computer in like the old computers when they think,
Yeah.
right? They use that somehow. I don't know. So when you start the car, the computer makes like so it was absolutely crazy, and you could tell that that's a Lamborghini, right? You could tell. There was absolutely no point or go, or maybe I was too small to understand it. I don't know. You just drive, and then you take care to load fuel in the next station, which there was a small. that was crazy. And then the Windows came, and I was playing Doom 2.
Oh, I remember Doom. Yes, I was already working at the time Doom came out.
That was I was very young. And
we had it on one of the computers in the coffee room at one of my workplaces.
You can play it today. I got it. There is you need a special program to run those games on Windows, basically, and that helps. Although that was Windows back then, that helps, and you can play a lot of games and that. And the way to strafe back then was you need to hold shift and then go left, for example, right? Because there was no mouse. If you just press left, it turns like that, like crazy. But I was still, I think still that's one of my favorite games because the gameplay was really interesting. There was no level was the same as the others, right? And it will get difficult and more, and new mobs and stuff. I don't know who did that back then, but if that person was alive today, he was gonna build something really great. Because the fantasy put in there, the ideas.
That was good. And then there was another one at the same time called Wolfenstein. I think.
And it scared me every time. Achtung! And I was throwing the mouse. Yeah,
that was good as well. Yeah,
very good with the hidden doors in the walls and stuff like that. You need to check the walls or paintings to find hidden rooms to get more points. Yeah, basically the same idea. The guy down there, right? The face that actually gets some blood and bruises when damaged, like when you have low health and stuff like that. Cool games, yeah. But Doom had kind of better graphics back then. I don't know why and how. Maybe more colors. That's also a thing.
Yeah.
Because Wolfenstein was pretty the same from walls and everything. But a good game, very good game. I remember that level. I remember that guy. I threw the mouse 2 times the same place. He killed me. Right? That was that Achtung that it was so loud. And that I was throwing the mouse. I was a kid. I don't know how old. Maybe 10, 11, something like that. Oops, something happened with my computer. What's going on? Oh, I'm back here. That happened a couple of times today, and I don't know why. Give me a second. You know the magic of opening the task manager and everything fixes itself?
I have not used a Windows computer in many years.
Oh, you're on Linux, right?
I use Linux and I use Apple. True. So I started playing Minecraft on a MacBook. And then last year I built myself a new desktop computer and that runs Linux.
In Linux. And I know Windows is too buggy, right? Okay. The last years it's not that bad, but they also got a lot of got out a lot of the freedom that we had before to tweak with it, right? But I don't know. I kind of know it, and I'm too old to learn a new operation system that nope.
I've gone through so many different operating systems in my life.
Probably all of them. They're not that many.
Well, I started off on the Sinclair, obviously. Oh no, there was one before that.
How old could that be?
We had a computer at school, which was a Monroe 16, I think.
Okay.
And that had the only input. It didn't even have a keyboard. The only input for that was punch cards.
What means punch cards?
They're little sort of. They look like envelopes, really. But they're made out of cardboard, thin cardboard, and then you have to punch little holes into them.
Okay.
And where there is a hole, the reader then finds that hole, and that means something to the computer.
That gives a signal to do something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So you have to code it that way.
I don't think I've ever seen those.
So that was the first one. Then the ZX81. Then there was the Commodore 64.
Okay.
That was different again. And then after that, I graduated to DOS. Then I had a couple of mainframes that I was working on in the university. So I was working on a DEC. And then we had a supercomputer at some stage, and we had a communications computer. They all had different operating systems. It was absolutely crazy.
Okay.
And the mainframe in Düsseldorf in the university was a Siemens computer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, big name.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that and that had an operating system that had very, very long commands.
Like you need to explain everything to it.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we started using Linux or Unix variants there quite a lot as well.
Mm.
And obviously Windows when it came.
Yeah. Windows
So
made for people like Grumpy, right? You click the button. And for me nowadays. Yeah. Okay. I guess people will understand exactly that much as I just understood. But I'm gonna Google all that, and I promise I'll put as many pictures or something that I find in internet about all this. That's interesting. It's damn interesting actually. So let's leave that.
yeah. I think I actually posted a picture to someone on Discord of the old Monroe computer.
I saw
might
the
still have that
Sinclair.
somewhere.
You show me the Sinclair, I think.
The Sinclair, yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
Google. I'll Google. I will translate that conversation later when we are done. In Bulgaria, I started my own business when I was very young. Actually, we were producing. There was a small factory for windows. You could do PVC, like plastic, the windows, or from aluminium, and I had no idea how that works, right? But the factory was there, nobody was using it, so I went there pretty bored. Said, "Wanna give it to me for half a year without rent, and then I'll start paying you rent." And the dude said yes. So I started having meetings with suppliers of the materials that we'll need, and they were talking to me as you were talking to me until now. I couldn't understand a word what they say. Like, that has 4 cameras, the other one has 6 cameras. And I had a notebook and I was writing everything down. When the conversation was over, I was going home, sitting on the computer, and actually translate the whole conversation that I have so I can understand and decide, okay. And it worked. It worked for years. So that was almost the same. I'm going to translate our conversation later, so know what you mean. No, I'm not that bad in this, actually.
Maybe I'll send you a few pictures as well that I can still find.
Yeah, do that. I can show them on the edited version. Hey, beauties, hold tight. The show continues right after this. But while you wait, why not hop into Count's Discord? Join the community, chat, play, and be part of the fun. The link's in the description. I'll see you there. I have 2 questions that I really like here. Let's go with the what's like being married to, as you said, Minecraft, Discord, YouTube addict.
Yeah, Dippy spends quite a good amount of time on Minecraft, on Discord, and on YouTube, or producing YouTube content.
Very dedicated.
And it's been quite an interesting journey, sort of from the first published video to actually quite a polished product that now comes out. And she's obviously managed to get quite a few subs and become reasonably well known in the sort of smaller Minecraft SMP.
In
circles.
Our community, anyways, our community is not small, actually, right? If you take everybody that we're connected to, and the fan base.
So, you just have to take it as it comes, I think.
She spends a lot of time preparing, contacting. She actually, he's taken the really professional attitude to all that, right? Because
she certainly has. I mean, the number of hours that go into it. I mean, you don't really want to set that against the few coffees she gets out of YouTube per month. I mean, nobody would do that as a real job, but it is essentially a job.
It is a
And
job. If you want to do it properly, it should be a job. Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes the hours.
She's really good at the networking side of things
Mm.
and getting people together, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
fun. And she gets these events organized. That keeps us all entertained.
True. That's true. That's why we all love DP. There's always something fun coming behind the corner, right? Yeah. She has it all, like the connection to the her community, the connection to us, and again even the shorts, and then now there are the houses, right? And I saw her. I just saw
Yeah.
DP. I just saw DP. I see DP.
Sneaking into the picture.
Just talking about the devil.
Hello, I can't hear you.
That's good.
He said, talk about the devil. We were talking about you. It's so innocent. Nobody believes you.
You got a beard.
Yeah, that's a style,
good.
not laziness.
That one?
He says it's style, not laziness.
Yeah.
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 But his beard is still full color.
Yeah, and yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, everything's there. Now she started those building houses in this biome with the colors, and what I also see is that he's also upgrading her skills, like even in building and stuff like that, constantly. So she's growing the whole way, right? With the Discord, with the skills that she has, the way she shows the videos, it produces, there is always a consistency of something. Even if it's the shorts, they're themed for a long time, and now they're the videos themed. Like, it's so professional, the whole thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the houses are great. And
they are.
I mean, I look at that and I think, I would never come up with that kind of idea.
It's difficult. I consider myself a builder, and I watch a lot of stuff that is not Minecraft related, like paint, how to paint, and like connecting colors and stuff like that. And there was a house with red stuff. Like I think there was some banners and stuff like that, and the flowers, and you could see that she picked the red flowers, so she could connect first the green part with the red flowers to the banners, and from there were red hidden blocks somewhere in the house, so it will make the connection. So your brain actually take it as a whole thing this way, and not 3 separate areas. It's one thing.
Yeah.
And that's that. Not everybody does that and has the feeling to do that. You know, it's quite of a skill. And she's, as I said, she's upgrading the whole time.
Yeah.
You are so lucky to have each other actually, and do all that together. I'm really
it's sort of it's complementary.
Yeah,
skills.
It works perfect. It's like if you open a company and try to get people that complete each other that good in all areas, you have it all. Even with the kids, the whole group that you have, you need nobody. You have the creator, you have the organizer, you have the tech guys. Good stuff.
It's good. It's good fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and you said that she's a lot of time on Discord, but I know that you're also going holidays a lot and stuff like that. So,
yep,
yeah,
we've just planned the next one.
Yeah, where?
Yeah, we're haunting more Minecrafters now. We're going to go to Canada. In September.
Oh wow!
Sort of mid-September to beginning of October. 3 weeks. And we're going to hopefully see 2 of the igniters in Canada.
Yeah, sounds great.
in that region.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many igniters are there actually?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably around 12 or so at the moment.
Oh, in Canada, I mean.
No, in
Yeah,
Canada,
who's there?
3 of them.
See, that's a lot. I don't
And then
think.
the other person who is in Canada is Elle, who plays on the Water World
Yeah,
with
I know
us.
Elle. Elle's great. I didn't know Elle's from Canada actually.
Yeah, no, she's West Coast.
Okay. Cool. Is she
But
gonna
we're not
join
going
you?
to see her on this
No.
holiday because doing East Coast and West Coast, you would have to
Yeah, maybe
spend
she can.
considerable amount of
Maybe
time.
she can travel to your area.
We're going to do the West Coast as well at some point.
Okay. She just needs to wait.
Many years ago, when we weren't actually a couple, we were both together in Vancouver.
Okay.
We went to a memorably bad New Year's Eve party.
A bad one?
Yeah, it was. Well, we were both traveling at the time, and we sort of decided we were going to meet up for New Year's Eve, and Dippy was staying with friends, and they were having a New Year's Eve party, and her friend was pregnant at the time.
Okay.
And things were not that happy in the house, and it was very clear to every guest that the sooner the guests were out of the house, the better.
Yep.
Which didn't make for an amazing party.
No, doesn't sound good. But happens.
But, yeah, the aftermath of that was good.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
So-
I think everybody was somewhere where you could feel that you're not really welcome right now.
Yeah.
That's
And Vancouver was absolutely amazing. Absolutely loved Vancouver, and I want to go to Vancouver Island. So that is another holiday at some point.
never went out of Europe. Never.
Oh,
Never went out of Europe. I've been in Italy, mixing the languages again. I've been in Italy, in France. I love France. I love France. You have no idea. It's like I have this feeling in inside. It's like when you're in love, you know. That's I can't even describe what I feel when I'm there. Even if we went to Colmar last year, I think. I got my eyes. I was ready to just cry from happiness because I don't know why. The air, everything. It's really strange place. Greece. I've been in
Yeah.
Greece. I don't know. I've been around Croatia, but never out of Europe. Not even in Turkey. Like, although we are neighbors in Bulgaria, like if you start to
Yeah.
go reach way the Asia stuff. Nope, the Asia. Nope, never. Never visited those.
well, and if you go to Turkey, it's actually very easy because part of Turkey is in Europe and part is
Yeah,
in Asia.
yeah. I just never went.
I mean,
Not
if
that
you're
I
in
can't.
Istanbul, you just have to cross a bridge and you're in a
True.
different continent.
True. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just never went there. Never. I don't know.
Mm.
Never happened.
It's a cool city, Istanbul.
It's
really
a lot
like
of
it.
history there, right? Constantinople and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
a lot of history.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the politics not so good at the moment.
No, at the moment, the last I don't know, 10 years probably something's going wrong
Yeah.
there. But they tried to protest, as I remember. That didn't work. I don't know. It's interesting
Well-
because they changed a lot in the years, and then wanna show even that they're more close now to the European culture and stuff like that. It not the same, of course. It will never be the same, but like more close to our understanding stuff. That's with they produce a lot of movies and series and stuff like that. Also with the same idea to show we are normal people, normal family, and then the same time you see how the politics are going there. So I have like mixed feelings very often. What now? Which one is it? Right? It's yeah, but everything has an end. Sometimes we don't like the outcome, but it ends, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything ends at some point. when I ask you if you wanna have a topic what we talk about and stuff like that, you said a quote: "Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." And you said you're joking, but those are actually probably my favorite topics to talk with people. Anyways, when I started talking about this with DP, she said I went too poetic, so I stopped. But yeah, what does it mean to you?
Right, the joking came from it's actually a quote from a book that I quite like. It's called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm. It's a famous
and
one.
It was made into, well, it was a radio series initially, and then it was made into a book. It's by a British guy called Douglas Adams, who's sadly no longer with us, and it's a sort of great sci-fi comedy series. And it's really, really funny. And in one episode, he meets this this clone, and she asks him, "Do you have a ship?" Meaning a spaceship, and he says, "Yes, but I don't want to talk about it." And then she says, "Where is it?" And he says, "It's in a cup, 13 miles above ground, but I don't want to talk about that either." And she says to him, "Well, what do you want to talk about?" And she says, that particular
Life,
quote.
liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah. And then he goes on, I know, not a great starter, is it?
I mean,
so
what's happiness for you?
That's where that came from. Happiness. What is happiness?
Gotcha.
Difficult. It's difficult, isn't it? Because there are many things that make you happy. I mean, playing Minecraft with friends can make you happy.
Yeah, but I don't think that's happiness. That's a moment.
No, I think
that makes you happy.
happiness is having things in life that put a smile on your face, make you feel welcome, have a place that you belong, having a role that you fulfill, that you enjoy. There are lots of things that come together, and happiness is a state in which you can actually enjoy life.
Yeah. How do you achieve that? Okay, because I have my opinion on that, but not a lot of people understand it. So I wanna hear your version first.
How do you achieve that? I think you have to work on it. I don't think that you can get happiness in life if you just wait for it and sort of say, "Oh, it'll come to me," and it's when I have enough money, I will be happy because I can do things.
Can somebody do that for you, or
I think you have to go out and hunt it yourself. And find out what makes you tick.
Yeah.
What makes you want to live.
I see it more of a decision, to be honest, because that's what happened to me, right? Yeah, of course, you need to go through some bad times to get to that point, right? But it's more kind of a decision. It's like, this doesn't make me happy, or that. No. Stuff happens, and it's about how you go with it, how you react to it, right? And you don't need the new iPhone to be happy. It's a nice thing to have. You don't need the count sign back there, right, to be happy. But it's nice to have it. I'm always like happy, and nobody understands it. There are also people close to me, of course. They were like, sometimes you need to put your pink glasses off and see how it really is. First of all, I don't want to, because I'm happy this way with my pink glasses, right? I'm happy with them, and I don't. Why should I do that? So I can sit next to you and complain from life, which I enjoy now. Yeah. Maybe it's pink glass, but I don't have much time, and we are here for such a short time, right? I'm 37, and I don't know when that time, like, poof, and how much left. So I decide to be happy for the rest of it. Nothing is really important. We are small. We are here for a very short time. and nothing is really important. Of course, there is stuff that will get you out of the rails. Bad stuff happens, but
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
a
there will
decision.
always be days where you're unhappy about something. There are days that you're sad. They're not days that you're particularly happy. That's
Yeah.
part of life.
Something
I
really
think.
bad should happen for me not to be happy, to be honest. If something it doesn't work my way, that never ruins my day, to be honest. Never. I can still laugh about it. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
should be really some. I don't want to say it, right? If something, God forbid, happens to my kid or something like that makes me unhappy. Yeah, but I don't think
Hmm.
there is something else beside my kids that can really make me unhappy. Because I'm also used to bad stuff happening to me, and at some point
Yeah.
you realize it's just life, how it works,
Yeah.
right?
And kids can make you very happy as well.
Most of the time, yeah. I mean, every
Yeah.
time I'm with him, I'm the happiest person in the whole world, and then I'm blessed with a really, really smart and funny and really good kid. I don't know how's brav in English. Brav, not naughty.
Laugh. Well behaved.
Yeah, see, there is no proper word. Yeah, well-behaved kid.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the only thing that could really get me out of there. I wasn't always like that. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't. But in the last 5 years, and that also attracts even more good stuff in your life, right? Now I met somebody that the imaginary, of course, I never thought exist these days. Like the way that we go with each other, I thought that's old school. This will never happen again. What my parents have, I will never have it because my experience, and I have a lot of experience, for good or bad. This is, I never saw it, and now I decided I'll be happy, and good stuff is happening to me all the time, and the right person came. We are almost 2 years together. Never got a fight. Never. Never. It's everything is just, I can't wait to come home. And previously, there was a moment that I was staying with the key in front of the door. Put it in, breathe out, and enter, because you don't know what's waiting for you today, right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
I asked you a question and talked more about it than you. But, yeah. Wanted to say that I see it as a decision, but it's difficult to explain how one
It's
decides.
a state. It's a state of mind. It's
Yes.
how you approach life. And if you have a sort of really negative outlook and you think everything's bad, everyone's out to get you, and you just focus on all the things that are not as good as you think they should be, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah,
You're
that's
not
all
going
you
to have
see.
happiness.
And you miss
So-
all the good stuff around you.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. We want to talk about something else. I don't know what.
What else have we got on our list? I need to have a look.
It doesn't have to go with the list always, but
No, but I'm thinking.
we got a Sinclair modern gaming, bring it back early days.
We've done
Yeah,
happiness.
That's a good question. If you could take one thing from modern gaming and bring it back to the early days of gaming, what would it be? But just one.
Just one thing.
Open worlds, for example.
Actually, I think the mouse.
The mouse?
The mouse would be it.
Yeah, right.
Because initially it was just the keyboard. And when we got joysticks, that was an absolute revelation already.
True.
But the mouse is so much more versatile in a way. Because you can use it for gaming. You can use it on your word processor. You can use it for absolutely anything on your computer.
True. Yeah,
but
okay. You're talking from the perspective of someone that want to tweak the codes and everything, right? You saw that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be That would be the one thing. Having sort of seen it develop right from the start, I think if you brought any sort of really advanced technology back to the beginning of gaming, it kind of wouldn't work.
Probably not.
I think there's a sort of natural development to it.
Yeah, from the gaming perspective, I would say, for example, open world. Even if it's like black screen with green pixels, imagine having that open world that Minecraft has. Right? Something like that. Because back then, I guess the problem was lack of experience, and fantasy wasn't in that direction, wasn't that right?
Yeah, but there was also lack of color. I mean,
it was green and black.
We were terribly happy when the Hercules 256 Shades of Grey graphics card came out.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you had Shades of Grey.
Yeah, the different colors. Colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the first color graphic cards, you could actually see the lines across the screen. So
yeah.
it was pretty. They were pretty awful.
Like you mean the whole screen? You can see the.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was all sort of single lines that you could see.
Okay.
And the pixels were rather large.
Well, that's the beginning of something.
It was the beginning. So yeah, I mean, Minecraft wouldn't have worked in those days. The other thing is obviously what modern gaming requires is lots and lots of memory.
Yeah, that's true. You said about the 1 kilobyte. My first computer had
wasn't available.
My first computer had 6 megabytes, and at some point, because my mother was working on it, she's an accountant, and needed to upgrade to 32. And no one in my school would believe that we have a computer with 32 megabytes of memory. No one believed me.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and how much more is that than the original 1 kilobyte of my Sinclair?
Yeah, actually,
I mean,
yeah. And the other way around, if we can get something from back then that they forgot to use it, something that was cool in the old games, and never happens.
I think what the old games were good at is using your imagination.
And Minecraft gives that, basically.
And Minecraft gives that. And I think that's one of the reasons why Minecraft is so successful and has actually managed to stay successful over a very, very long period of time.
Yeah,
because there's no other game that has done that.
Yeah, you'll never have the same experience. Never.
No. And the other thing that is probably good about the old games is their simplicity. Because sometimes it is just nice to learn a game or to play with a game
and to win,
and not to have to wait through a 200-page manual or hours and hours of online tutorials.
Yeah, that's true. I was always a bit annoyed because I love the Assassin's Creed games. But then at some point, there was so much that you can do, and I want the game completed at 100% at some point. But that means I'll need to play the same version for 3 years so I can do every side quest, every advancement, and this and that a lot. That was pretty annoying. That was really annoying that I can't.
Yeah. I mean, we play Baldur's Gate, and I think it's an amazing game.
Okay.
But it is very complex, and it's just you have to learn so many things.
Yeah, I think they're trying to include the open world idea, like you can do whatever you want in a game that actually has a scripted path, something like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't work great.
I mean, that's one of the sort of nice concepts, that you have something that you can build and you can model it to what you want to make out of it.
Nice.
It is not prescribed. If you go back to the games like Doom, they're essentially It's a labyrinth. You have to go through it. You meet enemies. You find things that help you on the way. But the rooms are the rooms that the game designer put there.
Yeah, it's almost the same experience every time you play it. You can see.
There's nothing that you can add to it.
Yeah.
There's no creativity in it in a way. And that's different about open world games, sandbox games.
It's much better.
That makes them so enjoyable and so long lived, I think.
You can play it once, yeah, but it won't stay like for 12 years. Or actually, Minecraft's already 15. More?
Possibly, yeah.
More?
Let me quickly Google that.
I mean,
when did Minecraft
first YouTube
start?
video is 2011. That means I think 2009.
Let me see. Discontinued. This one doesn't say.
Oh, Aunt Wiki should know it.
It should. 2009 was the release of Alpha, 17th of May.
9. Yeah. Okay.
So that will make it 16 years in May.
A lot. Yeah. See, and it was almost all the time was at the top of the games
and
list.
2011 is the proper first version.
Yeah, then it's also I think the first Minecraft video, like as a first time somebody said that's a Minecraft video, because you can type what kind of video that is. Cool.
So that's 14 years this year. But that's a long time.
It is a long time. And I started it at the beginning, then I stopped, and I started again the COVID times. And here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, the boys started when they were at school, and we never played at that time. So we really only started around 2019.
Yeah, okay. I started after school, actually. So I wasn't really in the beginning, somewhere after that. I know I was already on my first proper relationship. But a bit after school, probably. Yeah. So we played together. There was a big pause, and then COVID came. And then here we are, as I said, because I got to meet all of you in COVID. Although I was working, actually, but there was nothing else you can do, just work. No, it was...
Yeah, I'm in a way, those of us who had to work in COVID were the lucky ones.
Yeah, I was absolutely lucky for that.
And yes, work wasn't as pleasant for me, but I did my normal work.
Well, we were just there because, I'm working on the in Raststätte, right, on the highway, and we have to be there. That's the safest job ever, because you never close, whatever it is. Even if the highway, there is renovation and it's nobody can come, we are there. Somebody should be there. So that was the plus in that, but you do nothing, like nothing, the whole day. And there are people coming, like it was allowed with the masks and stuff like that. 50% were making drama because of the rules and the masks. And they said, what should I do, dude? What should I do? I didn't start it. I didn't put the rules. It's just I'm just here to make a coffee, for example. Yeah, okay, Blackie. Thanks a lot for that conversation.
Thank you for having me on the Count Show.
On the Count Show, I took a lot of time for us to meet, like a couple of times, different reasons, but we got it.
Yes,
but we got it.
We made it in the end. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks a lot again.
We have to meet again online and play some Minecraft together at some point.
Surely. Something is also coming on my side. Everybody knows it. I'm telling that since months. But I'm waiting because there are a lot of projects that you guys started and I don't want to burn people out. Right? So wait until all of you calm down and then we can throw ourselves in 8 weeks of Cave Twist. The map is ready. It's cool stuff.
Ooh.
It's a lot of I call it
That's-
the Among Us edition, because there are like the vents in Among Us, right? And there is an emergency button, and you can change skin. The imposter can change the skin. There are no name tags. You never know. And yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah.
should be fun. And I think I have a pretty cool group in mind, because streaming will be allowed this time, and we should be the right people for this, so it won't explode like yeah, we've been through stuff. But yeah, I'm saving myself right now. That's why I'm not joining everything, because earlier it was like that. If there is an event, I'm in, and at the end, it never worked properly, right?
Yeah.
So I'm being careful.
Yeah. It depends a little bit also on who organizes the events.
Absolutely. So I'm very. I think that's the first time I'm not part of your event now. That's the.
Sometimes you end up with an event that sounds great, and then nobody turns up.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of rubbish when you sort of think you're going to play in a group of 8 and only 2 people turn up.
If we're the right 2 people, we could still work.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's very true.
I mean, we're there to have fun. Alright, thanks again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, and
give Dippy a hug.
I shall see you around.
Oh, we'll see each other around. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I have a nice one. Bye.
Bye.